Hello, my name is Logan1373, and it's time to talk about 10 crazy facts about rappers. Number 10. How many of you remember 90s rapper Coolio, best known for his 1995 hit Gangsta's Paradise? The rapper was performing one night at a students' union at Stafford University when he decided to jump off the stage into the crowd. Too bad for Coolio, the audience was not prepared for the stage dive and they parted ways, sending him crashing into the ground. If that wasn't bad enough to add insult to injury, the students then proceeded to strip and mob Coolio of his bling bling, fancy braids, and his bandana. His hired bodyguards attempted to rescue him and pull him out of the crowd. According to StarPost.com, witness barman James Fielden said Coolio nearly flattened one poor girl. Then all the students decided to launch on him. They grabbed whatever they could, including his trainers, watch, chains, and glasses. He was pulled back on stage by the bouncers, who then proceeded to get his shoes back for him so he could go home with warm feet. Number 9. Bitches Ain't Shit by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Now, how many people think this is a derogatory and negative song towards women? Well, if that's what you think, then you would be wrong, because Bitches Ain't Shit by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg isn't really about bitches at all, but rather Eazy-E and NWA's former manager Jerry Heller. In the first verse, when Dre raps, "I used to know a bitch named Eric Wright," he's talking about Eazy-E of NWA, who Dre used to be good homies with before they got into a long-lasting beef. Eazy-E and Jerry Heller were a team of sorts and are referred to in this song as "she" to highlight their bitch-assness. Number 8. Next on this list, we have to talk about the one, the only, Old Dirty Bastard. Now, you might be thinking I'm going to talk about the drug charges, sexual charges, attempted murders, guns, taking a limo to cash his welfare check. But you would be wrong. I decided to go the other route with Old Dirty Bastard and find something good about the man. And here we go. The late Old Dirty Bastard of the Wu-Tang Clan was one of the most controversial artists in entertainment before his untimely death in 2004. He was known for his wild persona and his many encounters with the police. However, what many people don't know is that he saved a young girl's life, and he got a crowd of onlookers to get involved and help as well. In February of 1998, Old Dirty Bastard witnessed a car accident from the window of his Brooklyn recording studio. He and a friend ran to the accident scene and organized about a dozen onlookers who assisted in lifting the 1996 Ford Mustang, rescuing a 4-year-old girl from the wreckage. She was taken to a hospital with first and second degree burns. Using a false name, ODB visited the girl in the hospital frequently until he was spotted by members of the media. Number 7. Now it's time to talk about Lil Wayne. Now, I could say a lot of things about Lil Wayne, but I chose this. When he was 12 years old, he shot himself in the chest with his stepfather's gun. His stepfather, Rabbit, let Wayne play with his .44 Magnum, and one day he accidentally shot himself while playing with the gun. He was on life support for 2 weeks, and the bullet barely missed his heart, and Lil Wayne states that this is one of the inspirations that started his music career. Number 6. Alright, this one is a little lengthy, so let's just get into it. The people of the state of New York versus Richard Walters, better known as Slick Rick, the one and only, baby. The trouble started when flashy English-born Slick Rick hired his cousin, Jamaican-born Mark Plumer, as a bodyguard. But soon his bodyguard tried to extort him. Rick fired him, and Plumer responded by sending some of his friends to rob the rapper. Rick refused. They threatened to kill him and his family. Later on, he would find bullet holes in his front door. Rick began to collect guns, believing that he could only protect himself through self-defense. On July 3rd, 1990, the rapper was alerted that Plumer was in his neighborhood, armed and sitting in the chair with his pregnant wife. Rick hunted for Plumer. When he found him, he accidentally shot an innocent person before striking Plumer in the foot. A police chase ensued. The rapper crashed into a tree, breaking both of his girlfriend's legs. He then pleaded guilty and went to jail for 3 to 10 years. Within a year, Plumer would be shot dead. Rick's time in jail sidelined his career completely, but the rapper did release one of the more inventive music videos about incarceration, 1994's Behind Bars. Rick wouldn't leave prison until 1996, 1 year after recording this interview with Russell Simmons. His run-ins with the law weren't over. Rick had never applied for citizenship in the United States, and in 2001, after performing a Caribbean cruise, the rapper was detained. Due to his felony convictions, he faced deportation in 2008. However, New York Governor David Paterson granted Rick a full pardon on the attempted murder charges, taking the pressure off of his immigration problems. Number 5. I hate to have Old Dirty Bastard on this list twice, but I don't have a choice because I thought this was hilarious, so here we go. As we all know, the most hated rap group in America, or maybe the world, whatever, supposedly, is the Insane Clown Posse, consisting of Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope. Well, on their 1999 outing release, The Amazing Jekyll Brothers, they attempted to do a collaboration song with Old Dirty Bastard himself. They had a concept for this beat. They sent him the beat and the concept. What they got back in return, after waiting for him to do his verse, was a shock and surprise. Because what he sent them back was an incoherent rambling about bitches, where he spent his entire verse yelling out bitches' names and cussing bitches, and I'm talking about women, as he referred to in the song as bitches. They actually had to change the song name to Bitches and make it about trifling ass women who cheat on you and break your heart. Because they did not have a choice, because they wanted Old Dirty Bastard on the album. They kept him on there, had to change the entire song. And his verse consisted of him yelling about bitches with no flow or rhythm to the beat. They had to cut up his parts and make them part of the song. They had to put them in a different order to actually make any kind of coherency in it. And his verse consisted of him just yelling about bitches. And when I say yelling about bitches, it sounded like this. Bitches! Bitches! Fuck you, Shakita! Fuck you, Sharada! Bitch! Bitches! And that's pretty much what it consisted of. Number 4. It is time to talk about Kendrick Lamar, who I think is one of the best rappers alive right now and will end up becoming one of the most important rappers in the future. Now I'm going to talk about his new drug-free promotion. He is supporting drug-free rap. Kendrick opened up about growing up in a family that partied regularly, including substance abuse. Because of this, he doesn't drink or do drugs and wants to be an advocate for living drug-free. In addition, he is speaking out against the promotion of drug use in hip-hop music. The latest drug he is focusing on is Molly, the dangerous drug that rappers are now speaking about to impressionable youths. Lamar says that he wants to tell the public that there are times when you can't follow a trend just because it has become popular. Think about that. Sometimes you have the trends that are not cool. The drug Molly was most recently publicized in a song by Rick Ross where he spoke of using the drug to sleep with a woman without her permission. Another song by Wiz Khalifa repeats the words Molly over and over again in the song, as if the rapper is spending his life looking for it. Kendrick is breaking with some of his fellow artists by stating that the promotion of the drug is not good because people are dying from using it. Kendrick says you may have certain artists portraying these trends and don't really have that lifestyle, and then it gives off the wrong ideas, and it becomes kind of corny after a while. It's really about keeping hip-hop original and pushing away from the corniness in it. Number 3. Now we're going to talk about Dr. Dre and Straight Outta Compton. A former friend of Dr. Dre's says the recently released biopic about his trailblazing group NWA is missing one serious detail: the violent beatings the rapper delivered to 3 women on his road to becoming a music mogul. Dean Barnes, a musician and journalist who counted Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and Dr. Dre among her friends back before they were household names, was brutally beaten by Dre at a 1991 party after he became enraged by his belief that she had used her show on Fox to humiliate him. More, Barnes says she wasn't the first. She claims Dre's then girlfriend and occasional collaborator, Michelle, was routinely beaten by the rap star. Barnes also details in a piece of Gawker about the film and her experiences with NWA, the experience of a white female rapper named Tyree B, who she says was attacked by Dr. Dre at a 1990 Grammy party as New Kids on the Block, Janet Jackson, and Dick Clark looked on. Barnes' relationship with the NWA quickly went from warm to chilly following an interview with former member turned enemy Ice Cube on the set of the film Boys in the Hood. For the final piece, which aired on Fox's Pump It Up, Ice Cube's words trashing NWA were spliced into an interview Barnes had done previously with the remaining NWA members. The results, by all accounts, left Dr. Dre furious. After the Ice Cube Fox show incident with Barnes, Barnes states that Dr. Dre savagely beat her. Dre states that he just threw her through a door.
Bitch, get your ass out of here.
Number 2, C Murder. How many people remember that name? C Murder. That's right. Master P's little brother found himself in a terrible position, having to change his rap moniker from C Murder to C Miller in 2003. At the time, he was facing second-degree murder charges after a shoot-up at a New Orleans club resulted in the death of a 16-year-old fan. He was found guilty in 2009 and sentenced to life in prison. Number 1. I figured we would end this on a good note with something positive, and this involves Snoop Dogg. Back in 2012, better known as Snoop Lion at the time when he made his reggae album. Launched in Kingston, Jamaica in late 2012, Mind Gardens is Snoop Lion's nonprofit initiative. After spending time in Jamaica to record his reggae album, reincarnated Snoop was inspired to give back to the community. He began by establishing substantial organic community gardens that will provide fresh fruits and vegetables to school-aged children in the underserved communities of Trenchtown and one I can't pronounce gardens. Through Mind Gardens, he brings underserved communities the proper tools and resources to cultivate their own nutritional alternatives. After establishing the first Mind Gardens in Jamaica, Snoop and his supporters began to think about how to further spread the message at home in the U.S. With numerous community gardens already established in the U.S., it quickly became apparent that statewide a community gardening revolution was well underway. Inspired, they decided to start a network of Mind Gardens affiliates to celebrate and shine a spotlight on those who are already leading the way in their own communities. Affiliated community gardens in the Mind Gardens networks shared our philosophy, promoting healthy minds and healthy bodies by providing underserved communities with access to fresh, organically grown produce. Through our network of community gardens, we seek to align with and celebrate those Mind Gardeners who were already helping to make a difference. With Snoop's help, we aim to provide these affiliate community gardens with additional support and resources that will help the sites continue to grow, thrive, and be an asset to their communities. So there you go. Snoop Lion, Snoop Dogg did something good, but I would check some of those gardens for some good old-fashioned hydro. Logan1373, I hope you enjoyed this 10 facts about rappers video, and see you next time. Hope you watch this shit.